What is up, and welcome to the All Basketball Podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Maurice Dixon, coming to you on November 10th, just a few days before the high school basketball season. The 21-22 season gets underway, and I got another preview for you. Season preview. This time we got championship coach from Mount Pisgah Christian, Coach Matt Hixenbaugh, joining the show to talk with me about some basketball that is approaching very soon. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on and taking the time to hear a little bit about Mount Pisgah basketball.
No problem. Thank you as well for coming on. Season, we're just days away from it tipping off. You're going to be in this Berkmar shootout showcase type event playing Shiloh. How are you feeling about the matchup?
Yeah, I mean, we know it's a great way to get started for us because we'll find out, hopefully, where our strengths, but more importantly, our weaknesses are, because they're such a good team. They play hard, they're physical, and allow our guys to, get thrown to the gauntlet a little bit, and then give us some things to improve and get to, back to practice and grow our players and develop, and so that we can kind of get this upward pattern of momentum moving forward.
Okay, good. Tell me a little more about Shiloh. I know they've been. I didn't haven't got a chance to see them play yet, but I know they seem like they play some pretty good basketball over there.
They do. I mean, they are well coached. They play really hard. They defend real well. We played in a little showcase event, charity event a couple weeks ago, and we watched them play. We played Hart County, and then after us, they played Eagles Landing, and they beat Eagles Landing in a close game. And so they've got some good depth. They're really strong and physical. And so we're going to have our hands full for sure, but I know it's going to make us a better team by getting an opportunity to play them in a good marquee event.
Most definitely. And Eagles Landing there, they were champions as well as
yeah.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of dudes back, and so watching Shiloh beat them in a really close game, we're like, wow, this is we couldn't have a better first game to play an opponent that's skilled and talented.
That is true. Tell me a little about your team. I know you lost some key guys like to your championship run.
Yeah.
I know JoJo Peterson. You said Kasheem Grady's moved on, and your Nate Gordon, your shot blocker.
So it is a whole new look. So we were just realized last night we played we had our scrimmage at Lovett, and we did not have from our state championship team, we did not have a point who scored in that game returning. So every point from the state championship game has left us, and so we're rebuilding now. Our young guys, though, I think are really have a big upside. They got to practice every day against our team, last year, and they were undefeated on the JV level. We do have a couple of returning varsity guys, but their roles are going to greatly change. And so I think our key returners, Malachi Winter, he's a senior. He was really the first guard off the bench last year for us most of the year, played a lot of minutes, really, really a tenacious defender, and electric with his first step, and is a streaky shooter who can kind of go off, but we're really working to get him more consistent, and he's going to have to, the ball's going to be in his hands a lot, and he's going to have to make decisions. And so, balancing, getting his own shot and creating shots for his teammates, we're working a lot with him. So as a senior, Malachi is important for us. We have one other senior who will be in our rotation, which is Udochi Osuji, who's a 6'5" kind of post player for us, who was not on our varsity roster last year, was on our JV team, but has great athleticism and has really spent a lot of time developing this summer and in the fall. And his growth has been just tremendous, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Last night, he was our high scorer. He had 20 last night in our scrimmage. And so we expect big things from him. Again, he's going to have a big role. So there are two senior leaders for sure. Beyond that, we've got a handful of sophomores who were all on the varsity last year and played, but not frequently in contested games. Max Tucker's a 6'5" forward. Is really athletic, high motor, high energy. Michael Pace is a 6'4" wing player who's a slasher and has a great ability to get to the rim and a knack for scoring. And then Tyson Pittman's a guard who is a really good defender, has a great feel for the game, can change speeds. He actually, got a little bit of run in the state championship game. Didn't score, but had a couple key plays, was in the fourth quarter. We were making a comeback. So he has some big game experience. So that's kind of, 3 sophomores, 2 seniors, and then we have a freshman who's going to be really good, and Micah Tucker. And Micah is a point guard. Ball's going to be in his hands. So him and Malachi, they're going to be the two that are the ball's in their hands all the time. We want them making decisions. Our other guys will kind of play off of them. And but I think that Micah, as a freshman, has a lot of confidence, very savvy, has great poise, and he's going to have a great career for us.
Okay, is Malachi Tucker the guy with the hair?
Yeah, Malachi Winter's got, he's got the hair that stands out, the blonde hair, and he's just a great kid with kind of his hair goes with his personality, where he's just got this electric personality for sure.
Yeah, I remember him coming off the bench in a couple of games. I got to view you guys region championship. I know I definitely was there for that one, and maybe one other. Looking back on last season, it was pretty much we had to deal with. We were first dealing with the pandemic, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
We're still dealing with it. Just looking back on that, how do you think you guys? How do you feel about how you navigated? And then
it was a challenge, and what a credit to our guys, because last year really you went from game to game, and you never really know if you're going to play till you show up. Because games got moved around, and so the mental side of it was really tough. Along with you're in a pandemic, and physically, you have guys in and out at different times. It's amazing. We ended up playing 33 games, and not one player for us played in all 33 games for a variety of reasons. And we were fortunate that we never had like a COVID outbreak, but we did, sit some guys out to ensure the safety before, the slightest little thing. We're like, hey, we're going to shut you down while we could. Injuries, we held some people out, and we were lucky we had the depth that we could handle that. But at the end of the year, you look back and like, wow, now no one played every single game. As a credit to our guys, that they adapted to roles throughout the season. Their roles increased, they decreased, but they did whatever was necessary to be a successful team.
Definitely did. And to finish strong and get that state championship down in Macon. I wish I would have been able to get down there to make it, but I got sick, so.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things, but it was just a storybook finish. It was like out of a movie to finish that way. And after the season, from the very beginning, it was a long season, and our guys handled it so well. And we're going to greatly miss them. And we got 4 guys who are playing basketball in college off that team. JoJo Peterson's at Purdue Fort Wayne. Chase Tucker is at George Mason. Nate Gordon's at Converse College. Garrett Sutherland's at Brevard College. And then we got 2 other seniors who are playing college football. Nick Sparrows at Samford and Coleman Smith at Birmingham Southern. And then Cash Grady is now at the Skill Factory, and it still works with our guys around our program a lot. And he's got Division I offers already. And so that was a talented group of guys that we left, who left a mark on our program that we're always going to aspire to maintain.
They sure were. They left you guys in a really good spot. When you win a championship, it's almost like you look back, when it's easy to ask other coaches like who didn't win, like what do you hope your team improves on the most? But in your case, pretty much a new group of guys, but what are you hoping to improve on, or what are your biggest concerns coming to this new
Yeah, I
season?
mean, the biggest concern is the inexperience, and we're just not as strong and as mentally been through as many games, as a group together. We're trying to figure out who does what and where you can rely upon anyone. That's the concern. I think, it's that we've established a certain bar and a standard of excellence, and accountability and being a team that goes in everything you do every day. And that I'm confident is going to carry through about how we behave as a team, and how every player is really important and a piece of the puzzle. And is just finding out what that piece is for this year, and from game to game is what is needed. But to watch our guys grow is going to be exciting, because we have a lot of potential. Our talent is high, but they're also in a situation where they've never been in this, and they're playing kids who are a couple years older than them. They all have different roles. The length of the season and the physicality of the season, I think mentally wears you down. And they've never had to go through, going through 31 game preps and scouts and watching video and all those types of things. It's hard. It's a change from anything that most of our guys have done, where they're the main guys. And how you can't have these breakdowns, and you've got to close out with high hands, and you've got to execute a ball screen coverage, and it can't be, sometimes it's got to be all the times. And when you get tired, you got to dig down a little bit more, rather than, hey, it's, you got to figure it out. And that's what makes it so fun to coach. But it's what we're looking forward to. But we also know that there will be trials and tribulations and adversity along the way, because the standard is set so high by this group that just left us.
Okay. As far as your schedule, we talked earlier about the showcase you'll be starting the season off in. What does it look like as far as other showcases or tournaments you got scheduled, and your region? How you seeing
Right.
the region?
So we've got our 16 region games. It's a talented region, and so that takes up a bulk of our schedule. St. Francis is always they are always going to be talented. Kingsridge has a lot of returning players, and really played well last year. Mount Bethel's got a good group of guys. And so our region is going to be challenging. But outside of our region, we open up with Shiloh. We're playing in a shootout over Thanksgiving, and against Winder, which will be at Buford Arena, which will be fun. We've got Holy Innocents. We're playing a rematch of the state championship game in a Hawks Naismith Classic. We're going down to Florida to play in the Panhandle in a Christmas tournament, which will be really good. We're playing Collins Hill in a Martin Luther King shootout. So outside of our region, we've got our hands full. There are no W's on the schedule. Every game's like, hey, we really got to execute and play well. And we think it'll force our guys to, hopefully forces them to grow up a little bit quicker. And we want to play as good a teams as we can, as often as we can. That's the only way to get better.
Definitely. We're in phase two. No, not. Oh, I recently came across some information about the with the upcoming reclassification that a lot of private schools are going to be maybe joining the GISA, or they're going to be separating away. What is Mount Pisgah's
Yeah, as of now, we're with the GHSA right now, and we've had some meetings about it with our administration. And I know it's going to be a hot button topic for the remainder of the year. As looking at what's going on currently, the teams that are leaving seem to be outside the Atlanta area, but it very well could be something that over time, the decision makers that be the heads of school and things, looking at what's best with that relationship, and what's best for our student athletes to have the best opportunity to play. And I love being in the GHSA. That's all I've ever known, though. And so that's what we're looking forward to, just where we are, doing the best that we can to provide our kids a good experience, knowing that there's some discussions and things occurring. But for our kids, I don't think it changes anything. Their job, they're going to play, they're a team, they're going to learn from basketball, things that they can transfer to other parts of their life. And that's not going to change. It's a competitive game. You're going to start, you got 32 minutes against an opponent. and whoever that may be, we're going to lace them up and be ready to go.
Okay, good to know. We're in phase 2 of the shot clock here in Georgia. How is your region? Are you going to be playing region games with the shot clock?
Yeah, our region voted not to do it.
Okay.
But I can't wait until we get to play it and all the next year when we get it all the time. I cannot wait. I think that it's good for basketball. I think United States high school basketball is literally the only place in the world that doesn't use a shot clock. And so our college does, our pro does, Europe does, Australia does, South America does, from like 12 and up. So it's like we're kind of late to the party, I think. I think it forces our kids to show a little bit more court awareness. I think it changes the game as a coach when you look in the fourth quarter, especially of now you can start to calculate time and score based upon possessions, where right now when teams pull it out, and it benefits us greatly because we've done it plenty of times where when you don't have a shot clock and you got a lead, you make teams come chase you. But I like having the shot clock. So if you got a 6-point lead with 2.5 minutes to go, you realize that you're going to get 4 or 5 possessions at least without fouling. And so if you guard and get stops, you have a chance. We're now down 6 with 2.5 to go. You kind of got to start fouling to create the possessions yourself.
Yeah. So from what I hear, it sounds like you were for it, but the region, I guess, ultimately voted to not have it. Was it because it's not? And I heard another interview I did. I heard where they figured, why have it in the region if we're not going to have it in the playoffs? So we might.
Yeah, I think I'm on board. Like it is. It's fun. This year we're playing a couple shootouts and things where we'll do it, which is really fun. But for our region games, they're important, especially you're playing to participate in the state tournament. And if the state tournament's not going to have it, I think it makes sense to have the same rules that you're going to be playing the state tournament with. I just look forward to next year when we get to do it all the time.
Yeah, I'm glad to I love I like having I mean, sometimes you don't notice it, but like when I'm sitting there keeping track of the games, but when it fourth quarter, like you said, it becomes if teams have to hold the ball. I mean, a 5-second violation.
Yeah,
it's so hard to get sometimes when
it
players
is
are so quick, and when they're just running a play over and over, it's not the most entertaining thing, but you understand it, but you're like,
You're right. Yeah, that's what I mean, I've been on the side where we've done it before, and you do you play within the rules given you to try to win, but I'm gonna enjoy when the rules change a little bit.
Yeah. So next year is full going. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Those are all the specific questions I have, Coach. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just, thanks for doing all your hard work and promoting basketball. It's so fun to be in an environment where there are so many passionate people that know what they're talking about and, kind of show off what's the good part of basketball, because, that doesn't always happen. And so I just appreciate all you do.
Thank you for that. And I appreciate you for coming on and speaking with me. Folks who don't know, we had some issues getting this interview out, but it's technical.
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work went into it, but hopefully I enjoyed it. And, I'm always here. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. We hope you can get out to one of our games this year.
Oh, definitely will be in attendance, and no problem. Thank you again, Coach. And
all right, man.
Have a good one.
We'll see you.
Stay healthy.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And well, folks, that's all for this another edition of the All Basketball Podcast. I'd like to thank Coach Hixenbaugh from Mount Pisgah Christian for coming on to speak with me about the upcoming season. Season's right around the corner, the 21-22 high school basketball season here in Georgia. Can't wait to get out and get to some games. For those games, you can check my site, mobasketball.net, and my Instagram for little clips, mobasketball_net_writer. Sorry, I don't have the specifics, but it is on Instagram as well. And there's even a Facebook page as well of the same name. Remember, folks, subscribe so you can subscribe to the All Basketball Podcast so you can get podcasts like this. It's on all your major platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You should be able to search All Basketball Podcast, and this one should come up. Until next time, I'm your host, Maurice Dixon. Peace and be blessed in Jesus' name.